against a little bit. And yeah, forecast. Oh, now it says it might rain on Friday. Hey, the stormy lightning prediction doesn't seem to be there anymore now. That's so weird, right? I mean, yesterday I showed it. It was like, hey, lightning on the clouds. I've never seen that before. And now it's not there anymore. So I guess the weather prediction algorithm changed its mind. It's not gonna happen anymore, but there will probably be a little bit of rain, and closer by too on Friday. Temperatures though are still gonna be hot on Friday again, but then it's gonna cool down a bit again. So I guess we're gonna have more of these types of days, which, I mean, I'm all for it. That's great. A couple of really hot days, that's nice, but you don't really want it to last that long. The people just end up with a heat stroke and all that shit. So yeah, looking forward to it. All right, cheers. So yeah, hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. And you had a good morning. It's not really morning for me. Yeah, it's deep in the afternoon, almost evening, of course. And people in the US, it's probably still morning, just not incredibly early morning. All right, so I hope you're all having a good day, and yeah, a lot has been going on, but I mean, I'm not exactly like tuned into the dream walking right now, because I set my mind to the appointment to make sure that it goes well and that I don't like freaking panic or whatever, because that shit can happen, but it didn't. I had a couple of clips from yesterday on X that I found. A really awesome piece of clockwork, like a clockwork machine, not a Tartarian age device. Always epic to share that. I love automaton machinery and all that. It's epic. And there's like way more of it than you ever would expect. So every time you see a device like this, it's like, what? That's a miracle. But I mean, there is a lot of it. I mean, it's not like there's one in every street corner or anything, but I mean, there's still like tons of different incredible devices spread around in museums and just as an attraction on a location, like at a castle or whatever. You probably would be able to find some of this sort of thing. And yeah, it always amazes me every time I see it. Alright, what's this about? I think it's something Tartaria related. Right. But yeah, let's see what's going on out there. The depopulation agenda seems to be getting some real attention. Forum for Democracy is like basically, at least for now, putting it on #1, which is incredibly wise, because it is like, here at least, it is like the most urgent thing ever. Right? I mean, in America, it's also an ongoing issue. It's been addressed earlier with ICE, but that's now kind of like negated again. And I mean, I guess in the US, the most urgent thing would be the frickin' data centers because it's just causing acute ecological disaster. It's like very intense, very quick. So it's very urgent that that is put to a halt, maybe even more than their immigration crisis. But yeah, in Europe, it is really a migration replacement, and like how aggressive they're being aggressively they're being introduced, dumped on villages and all that, and the police is just terrible, protecting the migrants like they're first class citizens and we're all just second class. It's crazy. And it's funny too because I've seen like videos, I'm not gonna share that here, but of Dutch people of all kinds, including like Suriname, like black dudes, Indonesian type dudes, like, well, basically migrants, yeah, which my grandfather was too. I mean, I'm 3/4 Dutch, but the rest, I mean, yeah, I have that. And to see them and be like, yeah, we migrated here, but I mean, they're screwing us over too with this migration. And like, these people, they don't want to be Dutch. So like, yeah, it's very jarring. It's to the left, it's a message to the left, like, look, all these migrants that came over here fair to be Dutch for a multicultural society in a reasonable way, they're getting fucked over too by these new migrants that are not here to be Dutch. They're like military age men trying to basically conquer the regions. It's happening in Ireland too. It's crazy out there, man. And yeah, it's on. It's now like a real prime agenda, and Forum for Democracy is really on top of it, and they have been for quite a while, but it's just getting real traction now because it's like so jarring that the regular dumbass public is just like, they can't not see it anymore now. It's everywhere. It's in their faces. It's in their faces on social media. It's in their faces on the street. So it's on, and it needs to be tackled and reversed as quick as possible. And like, we have to fight against these cartel parties here and the deep state here, because they're all complicit. They're all doing that. They're basically directly responsible, and in conjunction with like NGOs that are really sponsoring it all. And I mean, these corrupt politicians that are doing that here, being part of that, they are making money off it too. It's all so corrupt. It's so sick, and it needs to end, right? Guys, it actually ruins multicultural society. Yeah. It actually ruins it. You can't frickin' force it. It's just gonna cause civil war. It's gonna cause more xenophobia. It's gonna destroy the multicultural society. I mean, right? Which, I mean, do we really need that to happen? I don't think so. Right? I mean, you want less of it? Okay, cool. Build it down. Don't frickin' wreck it and then make everybody, all the locals everywhere, all paranoia and xenophobic. Right? What's good? What is good? What good is that gonna do? Very little. It's not gonna be helpful, and it's definitely not gonna create liberal-minded people in the future, because they're gonna be growing up xenophobic, right? That's, yeah. So, but replacement migration, it needs to end and be reversed as quick as possible. And I mean, they're all on top of it, and hopefully it will work. Because, I mean, yeah, the cartel parties, they're being really disgraceful about it. They're just being really obnoxious, full ad hom, full of bluster, basically calling Forum for Democracy politicians, I haven't even read it, but I'm gonna guess they called her a racist. or just straight out insane. Because they say it's not true, even though it's blatantly true. Wait, no. How much those politicians aren't acting like Nazis and are the bad version of what we know and are like, no, we're definitely non-violent, we're definitely gonna be just getting rid of corruption, holding on to election promises, like being as reasonable as they can. But I mean, the enemy calling them Nazis, even though they're basically just saying, could you stop doing that and can we get back to the actual items? Like, they're just gonna be more popular, more and more and more. The more you call them Nazis, the more people will side with them and rally behind them. I mean, that's what it is, man. I mean, you keep pushing it further and you'll have, like, teenagers just to be badass, controversial. They're just gonna end up eventually dressing in frickin' Nazi costumes and the mustache and everything just to be like, fuck you, fuck you. They're not real Nazis, but they're just gonna do it because the opponent, because the Satanists, the Epstein class, they just keep using that stupid accusation of Nazis. And it just makes everybody feel like, huh, well, maybe these Nazis aren't so bad after all. Not really very well studied into it. And there is a lot to study into it about it, and it's a very controversial subject and very much prone to historical alteration. It's complicated, right? But I mean, those teenagers don't give a shit. They're just gonna see, oh, all the awesome guys that's, I'm a Nazi. That's just what's gonna happen because of that. And they're probably gonna get in trouble for that. But I mean, I could literally see like a teenager or whatever dressed up as a Nazi, and it's gonna look kind of silly and kind of cute, really, because if they're really young, it just looks kind of cute. And then them talking to a total full-blown Jew, right? A Hasidic Jew in full hat and the curly thing, and you know how they look, and they're just gonna have like a and shake hands and be like, yeah, we hate Israel. I mean, I can see that happening at some point, right? That even the actual Jews, the religious Jews, are just going to be like, yeah, like, well, we appreciate this sort of Nazi thing that they're doing because they're not attacking us. Like, they know we're on their side and it's all good. Could the Jews and the Nazis get some kind of peace agreement culturally? I mean, it's I'll just say it wouldn't be the first time. Yeah. Right. Anyway, yeah. Forum for Democracy politicians being called Nazi, and everybody just laughing at them like you are retarded. I mean, not those politicians, they're very polite. The Forum for Democracy politicians. No, but everybody watching that, they're all just laughing like you guys are so obnoxious and retarded. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And I mean, it's kind of hilarious at this point, but I mean, these frickin' freak psychos and their climate change and depopulation, replacement, migration agendas and all, they are still doing it though. But they are losing grasp. They are definitely losing a lot of grasp on the situation. And I really hope that they will be cornered soon and have their power taken from them by the people who don't want to play their stupid games anymore. So yeah, that's an ongoing process. Alright, let's take a look at America. What's going on over there? Ooh. American Beach Babes. That's always a nice thing to bump into. Yeah, Canada's going completely insane. Like, is going full, like, the dark side of the Nazis, the mental experiment shit. I mean, they're basically just plucking people off the street, having a psychiatrist declare them insane without an actual conversation, and then they just hauled off. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is, like, serious. This is scary shit. But Canada is going ballistic, going to plaid, and it's kind of interesting that some of the InfoWars guys were just talking about, like, maybe we should actually just conquer Canada to liberate them. I mean, at this point, yeah. Maybe you should. And you know what? If you're gonna go there, maybe England should be next. Which would be quite dramatic, right? But yeah, maybe America should actually consider liberating the English world entirely, right? England, Ireland, Scotland, maybe even Australia, although that's quite out of the way, but still, like, America would be doing the English-spoken nations a big favor. And I mean, their governments and the king, Mr. Dracula himself, right? I mean, they are not popular, and they're definitely not gonna repent. They seem to, like, be doubling down on this evil control scheme just without end. So they would do everybody a favor. It would probably help stabilize Europe and the war on Russia, because England is a very important driver in that, which has, like, been going for a long time. I mean, basically World War II was also England poking at Russia, poking at Germany, doing weird secret shit. Right, it's been argued that Hitler actually was a secret agent or a plant from England to go after Russia, and that's why he did what he did with Stalingrad and everything. So yeah, maybe America should, like, go for Canada and then move to, let's say, Ireland, and from there just England. Just say, like, okay, it's over. You got to now step down and let the people take control, because you don't deserve to be rulers anymore, and you're ruining it for your own people and the world. That would be epic. I mean, but then again, who the hell is gonna do that? Trump certainly is not gonna frickin' do that. That seems blatantly obvious. So, but it is an interesting consideration. Trump might do Canada though, because of the American Monroe Doctrine front, basically. Because of that, he might just do it despite Israel. That would be interesting. But I mean, yeah, why stop there, you know? Liberate Europe. Western Europe. Anyway, it's an idea, it's a thought. right? I mean, if there would be an Israel regime change, that would already like dramatically start rearranging the way the world works. And then maybe England would, well, either naturally escalate or actually calm the fuck down. Who knows what would happen with that, right? So maybe if there would be an Israel regime change, which is actually more likely to happen, not saying that Trump would do it, but it might, like Israel itself might actually do it. I mean, the Israelis are sick of this whole shit too, man. Like they're now like the worst country in the world because of everything, and they don't want that. It's like only these freakish rulers, people in the Likud party and all that, like they are the ones that are like just keep doubling down, but not everybody in Israel is like that. So yeah, Israel regime change, it might change a lot, including in Europe and England, because there's a connection there, right? The Rothschilds in England, they always like Israel's like kind of their project, so through England there's a connection there, and if Israel regime changed, well, that would potentially change England's attitude too. So, yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just kind of like planning ahead, like what could be done that could actually change things for the better. Anyway, how did I get to this subject? Where did it come from? Yeah, also it looks like the Ukraine war is gonna ramp up. Like Victor Bout was on Alex Jones again yesterday, and I've never seen him this fired up. He was like really like losing his stoicism, and I've never seen that before on him. He was like Russia is really pissed off over what Ukraine did, blowing up, especially like the university with all kinds of students, not even war related. They're really pissed off, and it was a really cowardice attack, and everybody just wants this to end. And it looks like, well, Russia is gonna like go potentially to a final attack to actually fizz, because of the tactical logic of the enemy is better than defeating that enemy and then inevitably have another enemy that you don't know yet rise up, right? So, but it might be drawing to an end now, which I'm glad, even though things are probably going to escalate even more. But I mean, Russia's going to win. It doesn't matter what really happens at this point. They are going to win. They are having the high ground. They are retaining the high ground. They have the power. They have the resources. They have the will. And they have God on their side. It's just what it is. Nothing can be done to change it except them fucking it up. And I don't see Putin or any in the Russian government actually doing that. They're just being incredibly consistent. And so, yeah, things will work out. It's just, it always sucks when like cities get blown up and shit. It's horrifying, no matter really where it happens. Anyway, yeah, and no nukes, right? I mean, always the threats about the nukes. Oh, you don't freaking need nukes. It's not gonna happen. But I mean, yeah, missiles, lots of them, big explosions, shit blows up. There's gonna be a lot of rubble. There's gonna be dead people. And there's gonna be PTSD. And that's it. No nukes, they don't exist. What am I gonna put in the title? Damn it, I had a good idea for a title, but then I moved on. Oh yeah. Yeah. About the whole England thing. Yeah, I'll just pose it as a question. Could America liberate Great Britain? Because I think, if I remember correctly, Great Britain is like all the British things together under the Commonwealth. Like Canada, Ireland, Scotland, England, Australia, and maybe New Zealand too, I'm not sure. But like the others that I mentioned, yes, that's, if I remember correctly, that's called Great Britain. It's like the whole thing. So I'm gonna use that. Sorry if I'm incorrect. Hey, keep me in your fear, good to see you. Good morning. Oh yeah, and of course, yeah. The Nazi and the Jew. I almost forgot about that. That was hilarious. Spelled that correctly. Oh my God. Spelling recommendations are ridiculous. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and Britain is with one T, I keep forgetting. Okay, yeah, 2 questions. Today's show's 2 questions. What if neo-Nazi rebel culture, specifically put that there because, I mean, there's no real neo-Nazis. And I mean, and I also don't mean like militant Nazi culture like what is in Ukraine. Like, those guys are psychos. And like they're not gonna make peace with anything. like ever. That's like part of the problem, right? I'm talking about the young kids that are like, oh well, everybody we hate and is ruining everything is calling them Nazis, the ones that are trying to stop them. Well, I want to be a Nazi now. Right? That's what's happening. They're not really like, yeah, let's do that again. They're just being rebels. And it's kind of like a bit of a power fantasy, maybe. But I mean, it's not serious. And in a way, also, they haven't went through enough horrifying stuff yet to be able to get to that point, because a lot of people tend to forget that the Nazis grew out of like a terrible, terrible situation and they turned it all around. Like with like junk everywhere and junkies and weirdo freaks and pedo and porn, and it was just a nightmare. And then 2 decades later, basically Hitler had just reformed everything, and everybody was just so relieved that it wasn't that shithole anymore, that they got out of it, and they had some pride in that. And like that's what really appeals to people, right? But I mean, we haven't seen, it's not been bad enough to even get to that point yet. So all this supposed revival of Nazism and all that in popular culture and with the youth, it's just LARPing. Like, they don't really mean it. It just like, oh well, they are the ultimate enemy of our enemy, so I guess we're Nazis then. That's it. That's really the basics of it. It's not that serious, and it's worth noting that it's basically a rebel culture. They're not really Nazis, right? Because if they were, they'd probably be frickin' criminals, like extorting people and robbing shit and all that. So, like, yeah, that's not who you see online. Like, the real Nazis would basically not come out for being Nazis. It would be like a secret club of mostly criminals. And I have some investigative knowledge about that from personal experience. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, what if the neo-Nazis, rebel culture, become an ally with Hasidic Jews that are like anti-Israel? I could just see that. I mean, guys, I would be like euphoric beyond imagination if I actually saw that. Like actual, real, not pretend, but real Hasidic Jews that are like super Jewy and everything, and doing all that shit, right? And just like young guys, teens and shit, like in full-blown Nazi uniforms, and they're just like shaking hands and dancing together. I mean, on a video and real, not a fucking AI clip, but real. I mean, yeah. My God, that would be so epic. It would be so epic, because it's like anybody that would watch that would be like, they would feel, to them, the people that are still programmed, they would be like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Look, the Jew and the Nazi are dancing together. That's like cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. That's what people would think. But to me, it'd be like, yeah, we've just ascended the freaking programming, man. We're peaking. We're crushing it. we grew out of this horrifying programmed shit that we've all been undergoing for like generations, for 80 years. We've ascended through it. I mean, that would be so epic, man. I mean, call me crazy. I would just be absolutely euphoric seeing that. Oh, looks like OBS objects. It's just stumbled. Maybe it's just one stumble. I don't know. But I mean, to me, that would just be hilarious. Make it happen, youths. I want to see it. Yeah, and I want to see like migrants, like original migrants, like the half-breeds, join in on the fun of it, right? Not like the illegals that are here to basically replace us, but just like original migrants. I want to see them there too. Like you have like the ultra orthodox Jew, and you have like some blonde youth, bunch of teenagers and dressed up in Nazi uniforms, and then just migrants there, and they're just all having a party. I mean, that would be so epic. Where they're all just like, yeah, fuck you programming, fuck you, we're not buying it anymore. I mean, oh. Hey, a guy can dream, okay? Call me silly, but that what I just described is part of my dream that I've had for like 30 years. I was always like, is there not some way where like the real Jews and the Nazis could just make peace? But oh my god, how dare you even think that's possible? Dude, I mean, just look at the world. Look at it. Look, the Hasidic Jews bracing against Israel. Like, it is possible. I know now it's possible. Could you imagine how epic that would be? I have a dream. And the dream might seem very silly, but I mean, I think we can do it. I think we can. And there's like more fronts like that. You know what? I think that the Sunni Muslims and the Shiite Muslims could make peace. Yeah, another one of these. I think they could do it. Doesn't mean that they are gonna do it, but I think it is actually possible. That they could really just decide on a long-term peace together and just not go at it anymore against one another. A lot of it has been just kind of fomented by Israel anyway, you know? So that's another one. And who knows what else in the world, man. Maybe China could actually like that the Communist Party could actually lighten up a bit. Kind of like how Russia lightened up a lot to Orthodox Christianity. Because they used to be anti-religion in a way too. But I mean, they kind of lighten up, and I think that China can do that too. Wouldn't that be amazing? That they actually would just like not persecute religion anymore? I think they can do that too. I think that they will just find that it's in their best interest and that religion isn't that much of a threat. You just have to manage it properly, and you can now because there's so much knowledge of how it all works. There's so much metadata, so much electronics, so much information, data points everywhere. It's no longer a threat that will always escalate. It can now be managed, and I think that China will find the confidence and basically allow religion again. I mean, that would be cool, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of hope today, guys. I feel very hopeful. Yeah. Anyway, a guy can dream. But if you're going to dream, then make sure that your dream is actually possible. And not just a futile dream that you can feel, that you can listen to God about. And they're going to say, like, that can never happen. And I mean, at some point, it might happen, but you'll know, like, that can never happen now. But at some point, it might. And this is just one of those things. Like, could it happen? It might. It just might. It's certainly, the components are there now. Right? And I mean, it doesn't mean that it's gonna last. Like, just imagine, like, they do that, and then Israel goes through a regime change or whatever. At some point, it's gonna be rivalry again between the Hasidic Jews and the neo-Nazi rebel types. They're probably, and hopefully in a friendly way, like, they'll be just poking at each other, right? Nazis gotta make fun of the Jews, and the Jews gotta, like, do their tricksies on them, like, because I mean, it must be like the greatest kick of all time for a Hasidic Jew to do a Jew trick on a Nazi. I mean, that's epic score on the chutzpah meter, right? So that will still be happening, but I mean, no actual war where they're like exterminate each other like that. It just, this shouldn't be there, man. It shouldn't be there. It doesn't need to be there on either side. So yeah, I'm just having vision about the future. It might sound crazy. I mean, especially if you're all caught up in the polarization that's just being pushed everywhere. It's just like, oh, you got to choose. Oh, aren't you outraged out by this? You're not outraged by this? Well, then you are the enemy. You know how it goes, yeah? I'm not doing that, yeah? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm doing this. Everybody thinks I might be crazy. Yeah, who gives a shit about that? I'm gonna do it. Right. I'm gonna eat my croissant now. It's the croissant of peace. See, it's two spirals meeting together. It's the croissant of peace between neo-Nazi rebel youngsters and Hasidic Jews. It's the croissant of peace. May God bless us all. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I needed that. I need to rephrase this more carefully. Yeah, let's leave the just become friends. That's phrased better. Would you not agree, keep me in your fears, if you're still there? Hmm. That was great. I really needed that croissant. I'm glad I got it. Hmm. Now it looks like covered. It looks like I covered everything on the news for now. Let's take a look at these clips I got, and then I'm gonna round out the show. Let's see what this is.
In 1872, a British archaeologist named George Smith was working in the basement of the British Museum, cataloging thousands of clay fragments that had been shipped from Mesopotamia. Most of them were tax records, grain inventories, administrative minutiae from a dead empire. But then Smith found something that made him strip off his clothes and run around the room screaming. His colleagues thought he'd lost his mind. What he had actually found was a tablet that described an event so catastrophic, so world-altering, that it had been passed down through every major religion on Earth. A flood. But not just any flood. A deliberate planetary reset. And buried in the same collection, though Smith didn't know it at the time, was another tablet. One that described what the world looked like before the flood, before the reset, before everything changed. And what it
Age of Wonders. What he's describing is literally Age of Wonders.
Was impossible. Trees that reach the clouds. Forests so tall they created their own weather systems. And a reason they were all cut down. A reason that most scholars refuse to acknowledge even exists. The tablet is called Eridu Genesis, and it is the oldest known written account of the Great Flood, older than the Bible, older than the Epic of Gilgamesh. It was written in Sumerian cuneiform around 2300 BCE, but the story it tells is far, far older. The Sumerians didn't claim to have invented this story. They claim to have inherited it from the Anunnaki, the ones who came before. And in this text, buried between the lines about gods and kingship and divine intervention, there is a passage that describes the world in the time before the flood, a world that does not match anything we are taught in school. The tablet says the world was covered in forests of cedar and cypress so tall that their crowns disappeared into the clouds. These humanity had become too many, too loud, too aware. Let me read you the actual translation. This is from the Eridu Genesis tablet, lines 56 through 62. The gods were disturbed by the clamor of mankind. Enlil heard the noise and said to the great gods, "The noise of mankind has become too much for me. With their uproar, I am deprived of sleep. The The trees that reached the firmament were felled, the great forests were cleared, the rivers were redirected, and the people were scattered. Now, most scholars read this and think it's metaphor, poetic language, ancient hyperbole. But there's a problem with that interpretation. The Sumerians were not poetic people. They were obsessively literal. Their entire written language was designed for record keeping, precision, contracts, mathematics. When they said a tree reached the firmament, they meant it reached the sky. When they said the forests were cleared by divine command, they meant someone in power ordered it done. The question is why? Here's what we know from geology. Around 10,000 to 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, the Earth's climate shifted dramatically. Glaciers melted. Sea levels rose by over 400 feet. Coastlines were redrawn. Entire ecosystems were drowned. And in the aftermath, something strange happened to the world's forests. They changed. The megaflora, the giant plant species that had dominated the Earth for millions of years, started disappearing. Trees that once grew over 300 feet tall, trees with trunks 30 feet in diameter, began to vanish from the fossil record. And they were replaced by smaller, faster-growing species, the kind of trees we see today. Now, the mainstream explanation is that this was a natural process, climate change, evolutionary adaptation. But there's a competing theory, one that researchers in the forbidden history community have been piecing together for decades. And it goes like this. What if the megaflora didn't just disappear? What if it was systematically removed? What if someone, some advanced pre-flood civilization, cut down the world's giant forests on purpose? And what if the Sumerian tablets are the only written record of why? The Eridu Genesis isn't the only text that mentions this. There are references to impossibly tall trees in the Epic of Gilgamesh, in the Atrahasis, in the Enuma Elish. In every single Sumerian flood narrative, the same detail appears. Before the flood, the world was covered in forests that reached the heavens. And before the flood, those forests were cleared. The most explicit version comes from a tablet known as the Atrahasis, dated to around 1700 BCE, but copied from much old Elasti sources. In that, and before we go further, I need to pause for a second, because what I'm about to tell you gets significantly darker.
No, it gets darker. Yeah, whatever. I thought it was really noteworthy. Right, here's the second clockwork. Just 36 seconds. Amazing. I mean, somebody just made this and it's incredible. The detail, it's all mechanical, just incredible. Yeah, Clockwork Craft is spectacular. Right, anyhow. Yeah, I've done an hour. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna round out the show. Thanks everyone for coming. Hope you like this very late show. If you did, then don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are on the description box below. Or send me a super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live. Or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I could really use it. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2646 on a Thursday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this Wednesday. Hope you have a nice cool day too. It will heat up a bit tomorrow again. Here. Everybody have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to stay hydrated. And until the next video, keep it flat.
Derp, 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 derp. derp derp derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derpity derp 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 derp